Mexico.
The foul's an important story in the game, but St. John's has had good success getting the ball inside early.
Here's Richie Fromm, the Spink. Kicks it back out, Santangelo. Now Spink. Santangelo with the look. It's good. And the Gonzaga Stags are on the board.
That's what Gonzaga is going to have to be able to do to keep themselves in the game. That three-pointer is the great equalizer. 2-3 zone for Gonzaga. They're trying to match up in this defense.
Bootsy Thornton from the corner, rims out. Fromm with the rebound. And Fromm holds it up.
And immediately you see that Coach Mark Few and Gonzaga, they do not want to get in a run-up-and-down affair with St. John's.
Santangelo had 16 points against Louisville. Barkley almost knocks it away.
Such quick hands by the Red Storm.
Out of bounds. We stay right here. Fromm, Santangelo, great games against Louisville.
Big games against Louisville. Fromm in particular, outstanding from beyond the three-point arc. And if they can get 48 points from those two guys, they're in pretty good shape. Although they're probably going to need some contributions from the inside guys against St. John's today.
Baseline, Spink leans in, can't get it to fall. Glover with a nice rebound. And the outlet pass to Barkley.
And that's the difference between Spink and Casey Calvary. Calvary takes that ball right up over Glover and dunks the thing. Spink not quite that strong.
Gonzaga in the zone. Glover in the pivot. Kicked out of bounds by Spink. And for St. John's, Bootsy Thornton really carrying St. John's in the game, and LeVar Postel hitting the big shot against Northern Arizona.
St. John's struggled against Northern Arizona. Thornton really did keep him in the game, and then Postel closed it out.
Bootsy to the basket, the leaner, no good. But the stick back for Glover.
Offensive rebounds were a big problem for Gonzaga against Louisville. They cannot afford to let St. John's have second and third opportunities.
Fromm in the corner. It's not attempted a shot. Santangelo, nice fake, frees himself. Rims out, knocked out of bounds, and it's last touch by the Bulldogs. 8-3 the score, St. John's.
I'm serious. Whenever guys find out I have a cat, they freak.
You kidding me? I love cats.
Of course, my cat's not like other cats.
Well, sure he isn't.
He gets so jealous if anyone drinks my Bud Light. Oh, anyway, I'll go get changed.
You're right. Stupid cats.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Oh, look at you, too.
Make it a Bud Light.
Net 1, Pearl 2.
Bingo!
Mr. Barkley wins again.
These days, it's never too early to think about retirement. Maybe that's why so many people go to Schwab.com. In a few steps, you can open a Roth, a traditional IRA, or a rollover. Invest in a range of funds and plan for the future. Because retirement...
You got the upper.
...comes sooner than you think.
Who's your friend, Mark?
He's a venture capitalist.
Oh, you still trying to trademark the .com?
Okay, if I can get just a little investment from you, this is a go. I'll take that as a yes. Mom, I gotta send an email here. I need an upgrade.
You need a data port.
Yes.
What's this look like, sweetie? A Holiday Inn?
Data ports, meeting rooms, business services. Holiday Inn gives you more, and more is better.
Prepare for the unexpected.
You're about to have a baby.
The outrageous.
My dog's been shot. Please help him.
All new City of Angels, CBS Wednesday.
15:41 to go in the first half. 8-3. St. John's on top of Gonzaga. And so far, Dan, St. John's playing with that great intensity.
St. John's has come out, Gus, and really seized the initiative in this game. They drove Gonzaga out of the man-to-man defense with some inside play. They've gotten Casey Calvary in foul trouble. They've been very aggressive on the defensive end of the court. LeVar Postel in particular, an outstanding start for St. John's, and Gonzaga is going to have to do something to change the tempo of this game, because at the moment it is all in favor of the Red Storm.
Al Barkley with the basketball, 2 of 12 against Northern Arizona. Reggie Jesse's shot rims out, rebounded by Floyd inside.
And Johns, I think, needs to reverse the ball a couple of times against that zone defense. You don't want the immediate shot.
Spink kicks it out. Floyd with the step on the baseline. The dense jump hook short. Now Jesse in transition. Nice look to Barkley, tipped away, and Gonzaga forces the turnover. Santangelo. Fromm has not shot the basketball yet, but Santangelo draws the foul, going to the basket.
Santangelo is a guy who can shoot the three-point basket, has 60 on the year, but he's also a fellow who doesn't mind putting it on the deck and going to the basket. And he did that time in transition.
All right. And Santangelo and Barkley very familiar with each other. They played international basketball with each other this year in Spain. Spent a lot of time talking and playing cards and learning each other's game. First free throw good.
And if Barkley's going to learn about Santangelo's game, he's going to know that Santangelo passed John Stockton to set the all-time Gonzaga career assist record.
He also has the single-season record surpassing Stockton. This is the second. 8-4. Red Storm on top of the Bulldogs.
One of the things that Gonzaga does not do well is shoot free throws. Only about 66% as a team.
Postel running the baseline. Guarded by Spink. Now Glover. Across the lane, and he carries the basketball.
And the zone defense by Gonzaga seems to have slowed the Red Storm just a little bit. Mike Jarvis's crew got 3 easy baskets on the inside against the man-to-man, but the zone seems to have St. John's puzzled right at the moment.
Now here comes the zone from St. John's, and Chutney Gray fouls Matt Santangelo.
Boy, what a smart play by Santangelo. He gave the fake, and he knew Gray was up in the air, and he just stepped right underneath him. And good sportsmanship, too, as they landed on the floor. Santangelo asked Gray if he was okay.
14 fouls against the Red Storm. How do you beat this trap?
You've got to get the ball to the middle of the court and then reverse it.
A steal, Gray. Down the lane to Bootsy Thornton, who finishes.
If Gonzaga is going to control the tempo of this game at all, they have to avoid the turnovers. Just a great job by St. John's getting after him in the trap.
Now Floyd inside. Gord spins and is fouled.
In the trap situation, what you want to do if you're Gonzaga is get the ball into this part of the court and then get it over on this side. But watch what's happened as the ball is dribbled in. Now there's 3 guys from St. John's around the dribbler, and the Red Storm able to get it out and get down the court. You've got to get the ball from one side into the middle and then immediately reverse it to the opposite side before the defense can react.
Zach Gord, a freshman from Vancouver, Washington. Very good offensive player. He gives the Zags size as well. 6'8". Now Donald Emanuel into the game for the Red Storm.
Of course, St. John's only goes 7 guys deep. Emanuel only played 11 minutes against Northern Arizona.
10-6, Red Storm.
Gonzaga stays in the zone defense. St. John's has been able to get a couple of turnovers and some offensive rebounds. That's been their production against the zone.
Nice ball movement. Barkley wide open. Off the front rim, tipped up and in by Chutney Gray. And a very valuable 6th man, Chutney Gray. Red Storm take a 6-point lead.
Dangerous.
Whipped it in. Call for the foul.
In the zone defense, Gonzaga hasn't quite figured out how to block St. John's off the board, and Gray is going to come flying in from the left-hand side of your screen. Sometimes the blockout responsibility is a little bit blurred in the zone, and St. John's taking advantage.
St. John's already with 16 fouls. 13:30 to go in the first half. Postel picked up his second. Spink with the jam!
tried to just shoot it over top and didn't get it. Now he decided he was going to throw it down.
12-8. Bootsy Thornton from the corner. And the rebound goes to Fromm. Here come the Zags with some momentum. Fromm, first look. Loose ball, Spink rebound. And here comes Barkley the other way.
Well, how quickly does he push it up the court?
And he's called for carrying the ball. Fourth turnover for the Red Storm.
There's not a smile of happiness by Mike Jarvis. Now, Spink, the first time he got the ball down inside, he was a little hesitant with it. Not this time, though. He just takes it and goes right to the goal for the dunk.
A junior from Bellingham, Washington. 12-8 to score.
You don't want to make long passes against this zone.
In the corner, Fromm again. 0 for 2, and a whistle inside.
That foul's going to be against Zach Ward, but that's the way you beat that press. You make the short pass to the middle, and then you reverse it to the other side. Mark Few will take that shot all day long because Richie Fromm will eventually knock it down.
Gord called for the foul as first. Remember, Casey Calvary, Gonzaga's best inside presence, out of the game with 2 quick fouls in the first 2 minutes of play.
And now some controversy going on between Mike Jarvis and the officiating crew. Mike Jarvis being warned. Gonzaga stays in the zone. St. John's been able to rebound the ball very well against this zone.
Thornton kicks it out. Chudney Gray. Count it.
And his foot on the line, so that's a 2. But good ball movement by St. John's.
Santangelo the other way. Blocked. Here come the Red Storm with numbers. Barkley, the runner. And it's short. Floyd with the rebound. Now Gonzaga with numbers. Nice look. Gord. And we have a 4-point game from Tucson, Arizona. St. John's seated number 2, Gonzaga number 10.
And Mike Jarvis just put up the stop sign for Chudney Gray. He doesn't want his Red Storm scrambling up and down the court either. That's the way Gonzaga wants to play.
Here's Thornton deep in the corner. Off the front rim. Outlet pass from down the lane. And he missed the chippy.
That's a great play by Barkley. Fromm was thinking about laying it in off the backboard, but Barkley cut him off, forced Fromm to try to lay it over the front of the rim. And that's the shot that if you're going to pull the upset, you got to make.
Gray off the side rim. And St. John's 6 of 14 from the field, 42%.
And St. John's got starting to settle for that outside shot a little bit.
Santangelo. Gonzaga 2 of 7 from the 3. 4 of 13 from the floor, 30%. And it's a 1-point game. And Glover gets ready to check back in. Red Storm having problems with this zone.
Having problems against the zone. It's a zone that I think they can dribble by.
Thornton, he's fouled.
One of the things you've got to be able to do in a basketball game is play transition defense, and this looks like a sure basket by Richie Fromm, but Eric Barkley puts just enough pressure on him that he prevents Fromm from getting and banking that ball in, which is what you want to do when you're headed down the court on a layup. Against this zone defense, guys, St. John's has settled for the perimeter shot. I think they can take the ball with dribble penetration against the zone. That's what Thornton just tried to do.
Lucy Thornton, first free throw good. The young man from Baltimore, Maryland, junior college transfer, had a great game against Northern Arizona. And he has really been playing great basketball the second half of the year for Mike Jarvis.
The biggest part of his game is taking it right at Northern Arizona's 7-footer Dan McClintock, and that's what he's got to do against this zone.
10-16 to go in the first half of play. 3-point game.
In my games, what I'm trying to create are these fantastic experiences that kind of go beyond the experiences of normal life. So what I was doing here was something I'd seen my father do on Skylab to create artificial gravity. Merrill Lynch has managed to allow me to fund my creative activities. John's listened to me as an investor. He's been able to understand my needs and engineer a plan to get me there. My next goal is to be able to buy a flight into space.
Just when you thought it was safe to leave your car in the parking lot, something evil will strike. You need a car tough enough to take it on. Chevy Malibu. With a steel safety cage, breakaway mirrors, a 6-layer paint process, and bounce-back bumpers, it's one tough car. Chevy Malibu. We'll be there.
Look out. There's a new faucet in town. Introducing the new pull-out spray from Delta with a radical new design, combining beauty, practicality, and just a touch of attitude. Delta, the faucet.
In the heart of India, amid an age-old culture, one company has pioneered a new way of doing business, using cutting-edge processes and communications. Infosys designs and builds software solutions for the world, working 24 hours a day, delivering overnight to clients around the globe. Infosys is growing an average of 60% a year. Where do you learn about aggressive, innovative companies? Exactly. NASDAQ. Stock market for the digital world.
When you mentor a child, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be yourself. Do good. Call 1-877-BE A Mentor.
And a look at the data bank. The West has been very kind to the Big East over the past few years. The last 3 Big East teams to reach the Final Four played in the West. Eaton Hall, Syracuse, and last year's national champion, Connecticut Huskies.
And, of course, Connecticut came out of the West region with a 5-point victory over these Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Sellout crowd here at the McKale Center in Tucson on the campus of the University of Arizona, where the Arizona Wildcats losing today, the #1 seed in the West, knocked out of the tournament by Wisconsin. And the Zags turn it over.
At St. John's pressure, disrupting what Gonzaga's trying to do on the offensive end.
Each team with 4 turnovers. And Barkley walks it into the front court.
An important stretch for Gonzaga right here. Fromm and Calvary both on the bench.
Glover and one. Anthony Glover.
St. John's has really stayed out on the perimeter against this zone defense, but a great entry pass. The penetration draws the defense. 3 guys go to the ball, and as a result, nobody's available to front Glover down in the lane. You can't have 3 guys going after the basketball. 2 guys maybe, but when 3 guys get there, somebody's open, and an easy basket results.
Spink called for a second foul. 6th team foul against Gonzaga. Glover with 6 points so far. And he misses the free throw.
And Fromm back in the game. That's that dribble penetration against that zone.
Fromm 0 for 2 from the field. Now make it 0 for 3.
St. John's very widely spread zone in the half court. They're really daring Gonzaga to throw the ball inside.
Inside, Dench. Almost missed the jam. Dench 5 for 5 against Louisville. Ending up with 14 points.
Dench, I think, is going to have to be a big factor today with Calvary on the bench in foul trouble.
Chudney Gray off the dribble. Trying to shake up his man. Baseline runner. Rebound goes to Gord.
And Gord is going to be asked to play some important minutes for the Bulldogs.
We may not see Calvary anymore this half. 2 quick fouls.
Calvary is so aggressive, I think it's very dangerous to put him back in the game with 2 fouls.
Trico. Dench. Splits the double. Turns. Nice play.
Dench is 6'11". And Dan McClintock, the 7-footer from Northern Arizona, really caused St. John's some problems down inside. That's the place where Gonzaga may be able to go.
Glover with a strong move. Anthony Glover, only 6'6", going over the 6'11". Axel Dench and Thornton with the steal. Now Gray to the cup.
St. John's goes so quickly from defense to offense.
Santangelo inside, Gord, and he's fouled.
We mentioned the quick hands of the Red Storm, the Red Swarm, when they're playing this kind of defense. Thornton picks up the ball, immediately knows where Gray is, and gets the ball down the court. Now, where might Gonzaga have an advantage? Dench is able to get through the double team. Gray not doing a very good job. You can't let the big guy dribble. If Dench can get it down that close to the basket, St. John's simply not big enough to stop it.
Reggie Jesse with 2 fouls. And Gord misses the first one. Tonight on CBS, a disadvantaged kid with big hoop dreams hits the court with a little help from his friends and favorite players on an all-new Walker tonight on CBS.
The fouls are piling up for St. John's, but Gonzaga not able to convert effectively from the line.
Now Casey Calvary comes back into the game, playing with 2 fouls. 8:05 to go.
Gonzaga not a very big team, marked few with few options, and Calvary's going to have to be very careful.
Very nice.
St. John's has had success with the dribble penetration.
Glover again, great hands. It looks like he has a baseball glove on in there, folks. He is scooping it up like Derek Jeter.
You throw it anywhere close to Glover, he's going to catch it.
Inside, Calvary almost picked up that foul. Now Casey drop step. And the foul called against St. John's.
Calvary is an excellent athlete on the inside, a tremendous jumper. And he is a guy who's really a capable scorer. Scored 28 points in the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship game after scoring 22 the night before, so he can be an offensive threat. They need to have him in the game.
Glover picks up his second foul. And Calvary at the line makes the first. Gonzaga, last year advancing to the Elite Eight. They knocked off a number 7 seed, Minnesota, then a number 2, Stanford. In this tournament, they knocked off Louisville, a number 7, now looking to knock off another number 2 in St. John's. And Calvary misses the second.
Keep in mind, though, as Glover has to go to the bench with 2 personal fouls, St. John's comes in with 25 wins on the year, but they are 20-0 when nobody fouls out of the game. They're only 5-7 when somebody fouls out.
Bootsy Thornton. Weak side rebound, post down.
The book on St. John's is play 'em zone, but if they're going to rebound like that, it's going to have to change the book or at least go to a different chapter.
Red Storm shooting 52%, 11 of 21, 26-19.
For Grapevine, the address is CBS Monday.
Faster, more reliable, higher quality, more profitable. Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, and it can be whatever you want it to be. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
Come together right now over me.
Meet Martin Licious, Storm Chaser. Some head for the basement. He heads for a Chevy S10. It's got advantages over Ford Ranger, like better fuel economy, a bigger bed, and standard four-wheel anti-lock brakes on every model. Because if you want to outrun Mother Nature, you need every advantage you can get. Chevy S10, like a rock.
How do you want to fly? That's the question Delta's been asking. Because different people want different things. Every passenger has a request. What would yours be?
There's always a combination of taking a knowledge and applying it. For example, I know who the shooter is. I know what he does, what he thinks, under stress, how he'll act, what's his favorite thing to do, what's his least favorite thing to do. And I got most of my rebounds before he took the shot.
Knowledge is the edge. Call your advisor or Invesco about the leisure fund. You should know what Invesco knows.
Park Kellogg in New York. We'll get you back to St. John's and Gonzaga in Tucson. First, take a peek into Minneapolis and check in on UCLA and Maryland. The Bruins opened with a 7-0 run. It's a good thing they did too, Clark, because Maryland has found their walking shoes.
They certainly have. Actually, UCLA got up 14-2, and since then, Maryland has gone on a 19-5 run to tie things back up.
We talked earlier today about UCLA and the emotional roller coaster that they have been on all season long and then seem to find themselves coming down the stretch.
Yeah, they certainly have. UCLA is a team with tremendous young talent. Jerron Rush was out because of an eligibility issue. He's returned. And this team is playing with an awful lot of confidence and chemistry. And that man there, Steve Lavin, has done a nice job keeping them focused and keeping them on task.
UCLA out of the Pac-10 with a 20-11 record, and the Terps out of the ACC at 25-9, and highly regarded. Each of these teams with a tough task ahead of them today. 9:54 to play in the first half, and UCLA on top, 21-19.
You look across the board in the games we've seen today, Greg, and every team that's advanced to the Sweet 16 has fully earned that ticket. And that's the way I think it's going to be across the board. Just so competitive, so much parity. This matchup here, UCLA and Maryland, two teams that like to play up-tempo, two teams that have a number of scoring weapons. Juan Dixon has it blocked there, and off to the races we go.
Many more days like this, Clark, and we're going to have a...
That's the
coaches that are head cases.
Jerron Rush off the feed from Earl Watson.
We'll keep you updated on UCLA, Maryland. Let's take you back to Tucson. Gus Johnson and Dan Bonner.
6 minutes ago in the first half of play, St. John's up 26-21.
St. John's has really been able to get it done on the inside now. Barkley hits the three-point basket. The big story for the Red Storm. Glover, 10 points, 3 rebounds before he went to the bench with 2 fouls.
Dench spins baseline, and a whistle and foul called on the floor. Donald Emmanuel called for the foul.
Number 33, Donald Emmanuel, his first.
Go, guys.
19 foul.
Here we go, guys.
So the Axeman, Axel Dench at the line. Young man from Melbourne, Australia. 1-1, and he gets the front end. And a look at the game summary. 3-point shooting a key, 1 of 7. The Red Storm, 2 of 8 for Gonzaga. Second free throw good.
Again, though, it's been the St. John's defense and their inside play that has set the tone early. St. John's has been able to get it inside to Glover, to Postel. They've been able to rebound the ball very effectively on the offensive end and create turnovers on the defensive end.
Boosie Thornton drives baseline, cut off. Skip pass to Postel. Now Barkley. Off the back rim, Postel. Offensive rebound, and he lays it off to Emmanuel. Santangelo the other way. And the ball tipped out of bounds by Reggie Jesse.
One of the problems that has confronted Gonzaga is blocking out. Nobody blocks out LeVar Postel, and I'm telling you, as well as Postel can play on the inside, you better find him and get a body on him. That is now 8 points for St. John's as a result of offensive rebounds.
Calvary taken away by Thornton. 3-on-1. Boosie to Barkley inside. He's fouled.
Foul is on number 13.
Giddy complete game coverage with real-time desktop scoring in the Game Center. For the fastest coverage online, just click on March Mayhem at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. So Eric Barkley, the young man, has been through a lot this season. Played extremely well on the court, but has had some problems off the court with the NCAA.
And the NCAA, of course, the investigations as a result of his tuition payments at Maine Central Institute and the result of a car exchange, but all that seems to be behind him now, and he has a very good view about that. It's all done, and he wants to move on, and certainly he has been effective so far in this tournament.
Second free throw for Barkley is good, although he did struggle in the first game against Northern Arizona, 2 of 12, 8 points, but had a big steal at the end of the game. 32-23 the score.
Meet the inspiration behind the truck. We thought of them when we gave it the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup. We thought of them when we gave it a bigger extended cab than Ford F-150 or Dodge Ram. Maybe that's why Chevy Silverado owners think so highly of the truck. Now ranked most appealing full-sized pickup by J.D. Power and Associates. Silverado, it's the truck from Chevy.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, hi.
You seem a little slow there.
Well, I was stunned by your beauty. Buy you a Miller Lite, it tastes great.
Sure, but I like it because it's less filling.
Huh? Well, opposites attract. That's a good one. You want to go someplace and talk?
Yeah.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Rookie.
Just a minute. Poor baby. Wow, 125. I'll go download your homework.
The Microsoft Connected Learning Community. With internet software that connects, you'll never miss school. Sorry.
It's seeking out companies with accelerating earnings, for we believe they have the brightest futures. It's hand-selecting the best of those companies, one by one. It's trusting in a process that can deliver solid, long-term results. The American Century Ultra Fund. It's what we call American Potential. American Century Investments. Contact us or your investment professional.
Was he, as one prominent Catholic called him, Hitler's Pope? More pro-Nazi than the present Pope is willing to concede? 60 Minutes, Sunday.
St. John's by 9, under 5 to go in the first half. St. John's a number 2 seed with a great opportunity. Arizona losing today to Wisconsin. So that sets up a matchup between Wisconsin and LSU. Stromiles Swift and company for the Bayou Tigers.
3 of the 4 teams already have their tickets punched for Albuquerque. These 2 teams vying to become the 4th.
Santangelo, nice look to Dent. Block. Dent receives it again. Jump hook is good. Emmanuel got a big hand on it. And now Dent with 10 points.
And Gonzaga goes back to the man-to-man. Now, when they showed this defense early in the game, immediately LeVar Postel posted up inside.
9 points, the largest lead for the Red Storm. Thornton stripped away. Saves it from going out of bounds.
Look for Thornton to try to post up inside against Floyd.
Leans in, fades, and Dench snatches it down.
This is a tough lineup for Gonzaga to try to guard man-to-man. Just as St. John's has had success going inside, that's where Gonzaga needs to go.
Dench again. And Bootsy Thornton with the rebound.
A smart play by Thornton to tip the ball away so then he could go run it down in the corner. Casey Calvary with those 2 personal fouls is trying to match up against LeVar Postel.
Here's Barkley on the high pick and roll. Down the lane, the runner. Oh, the window and in. Eric Barkley with 6 points. St. John's up 34-25. Santangelo answers for 3.
He has been the three-point offense today for Gonzaga.
3 threes for Matt Santangelo. And a 6-point game. Barkley.
I think Eric Barkley lost the contact lens.
Timeout on the floor.
So a timeout on the floor as Barkley puts his contact back in. 34-28.
Newly completed Economy Plus with up to 5 extra inches of space. One more thing we're doing to make it easier to stay united.
Please welcome today's guest, Drew Carey.
Well, today I'm going to show everyone how to install DirecTV. Great! First you take your drill, your wrench, your stud finder. This will come in handy. Just in case.
Fantastic!
And chuck it out the window. Because now, not only to get more movies and sports and stuff and digital quality picture and sound, but installation's free too. DirecTV, now with local channels. My work is done here.
She's a beauty, isn't she?
Yeah, she sure is. Do you mind if I take a closer look?
Be my guest.
You got anything in a 2-door?
Can't do it in life? Do it on the web with the power of the Pentium 3 processor. And find out how to get even more from the Pentium 3 processor at Intel.com.
My dad was a coach at Georgia School for the Deaf. I grew up in an environment where deaf kids kind of adopted me in their culture.
Thank all of you for coming to the camp today.
When I first went to Merrill Lynch, I was very impressed with Steve Maloney. He was very easy to talk to, and he listened well.
So it's important for all of us to listen well and to cooperate. Every day you're building your future.
Monday on CBS, Grapevine's got game. Critics agree the more Grapevine you watch, the more enjoyable it becomes. Don't miss an all-new Grapevine, Monday on CBS. And don't forget, coming up on Pennzoil at the half, Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg with plenty of game and games to update. We'll update you on all the tournament news, all the scores and highlights, plus live look-ins at all the action going on in the NCAA tournament. That's all coming up on Pennzoil at the half. Our score, 34-28. St. John's on top of Gonzaga. Red Storm is led by as many as 9 here in the first half of play. Barkley guarded by Santangelo.
And that's the matchup between the two friends in the man-to-man defense.
Chutney Gray. Off the dribble. Bad shot.
Shot clock was running down. I don't know that the Red Storm realized when that timeout occurred that they only had 20 seconds left on the shot clock, and Mike Jarvis can only shake his head.
Richie Fromm dribbling the basketball at 31 against Louisville. 0 for 3 today. Inside Spake, nice catch, great bump, blocked, but tipped up and in by Dent.
And suddenly Gonzaga gives every appearance as if they want to hang around.
And Axel Dent with 12 first-half points.
And with Fromm not making an offensive contribution and Calvary in foul trouble, they needed somebody to step up, and it has been Dent.
Bootsy Thornton pops out, wheels down the lane, strip. Here comes Floyd. He's got Spake on the lane. Nice bounce. Oh! Whoa! Young fella! Gonzaga on a 7-0 run. Barkley. Reggie Jesse with the putback.
And that quiets the crowd, but again, St. John's just pounding the offensive boards.
And Fromm out of bounds.
Gonzaga is a team that likes to get out and run when they have the opportunity, and Floyd doesn't really make a very good pass here, but Spink bails him out by just flying to the basket. Spink hustling down the court. Now he comes into your screen, and now he almost rises out of your screen. Excellent fast break, but following that, Gonzaga gave up an offensive rebound basket, and now they turn it over again.
Knocked away, stolen, Spink. From in the corner, here's Floyd, back to Spink. Dench missed the lay-in. And a whistle.
That's at least 4 layups that Gonzaga has missed in the first half. Santangelo telling Spink and Dench, nice job, let's hang in there.
And Spink takes a seat. 2 rim-rocking dunks in the first half of play for Mark Spink, the junior from Bellingham, Washington.
And now Gonzaga would like to get a defensive stop and a score before halftime. The momentum has suddenly shifted. You don't want it to shift back.
Barkley. Barkley picks up the dribble. Emmanuel feeds the post. Thornton, triple team, forces it up. Rimmed out. Jesse with the rebound, but he can't get it to fall.
Shot clock off.
22 seconds to go in the first half. Gonzaga playing for 1 shot.
Got to find Fram and Santangelo in this situation.
Here's Santangelo, 8 to shoot. Now Floyd.
Richie Fromm looking for the ball.
Inside, Dench, the runner. Rebounded, Gordon. Foul. Chudney Gray called for the foul, his second. 10 team fouls against St. John's with 1 second remaining. Scored with 2.
St. John's did a nice job keeping the ball out of the hands of Richie Fromm and out of the hands of Ryan Floyd, forcing somebody else to try to get the score.
And Gord misses the first.
He's only a 60% free throw shooter. Mark Few telling his guys they've got to be smart. He doesn't want any fouls coming over the back.
Second free throw, good. 1 second to go. And Emmanuel from 3-quarter court. Oh, it almost went in. What a first half. St. John's heads into the locker room leading 36-33. Beth Mowens is standing by with Coach Jarvis.
Well, Coach, what kind of adjustments do you need to make now for the second half?
Well, you know, the game always comes down to second chance points. We can't allow them to get the ball as deep and to get some second chance baskets, which we've given them.
Thanks, Mike. Gus?
All right, Beth. St. John's with 10 second chance points in the first half. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Just when you thought it was safe to leave your car in the parking lot, something evil will strike. You need a car tough enough to take it on. Chevy Malibu. With a steel safety cage, breakaway mirrors, a 6-layer paint process, and bounce-back bumpers, it's one tough car. Chevy Malibu. We'll be there.
How many patients can one doctor see in one day?
Mr. Thompson.
What's his problem?
He's dead.
I can't fix that. An all-new record-breaking Becker, CBS Monday.
Jason Gedrick stars in Falcone, beginning April 4th on CBS.
In 1991, there were 5 sport utilities. The #1 seller, Ford Explorer. Today, sport utilities are everywhere, and Ford Explorer is still #1. The reasons? 4-wheel ABS, V8 engine, control track 4-wheel drive, a reverse sensing system, more cargo room, side airbags, and much more.
Now get free 9 financing or $1,000 cash back on Explorer. One more reason to visit your local Ford store today.
Not every victory makes the papers. Achieve New Balance.
It's a great name. It's beansnow.com. If you type in beansnow.com, we're different from other bean sites. It's a website, computers, you click, and the next day beans appear. And we're looking for some venture cap, some seed money. We're just trying to get some cash.
It's not one of those dirty websites, is it?
Oh, no.
The cold filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft.
I'm starting an internet website, and I'm calling it CaptainBarky.com.
That's my doggy's name.
Huh.
Never miss a genuine opportunity.
A 260 horsepower CL Type S from Agra.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half. Sponsored by Pennzoil. Specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Pennzoil at the Half. I'm Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg. Our halftime score, St. John's 36 and Gonzaga 33. This game going about the way you thought it would?
Exactly. Despite the discrepancy in the seeding numbers, these two teams are evenly matched. Gonzaga shoots the 3. They have presence inside, and they don't feel like they're a Cinderella anymore. They feel like they deserve to be in this tournament and have a chance to really advance.
The winner moves on to Sweet 16 and plays the Purdue Boilermakers. Meanwhile, in Minneapolis, UCLA and Maryland in the last minute or so of the first half. Let's take you out there now and join Vern Lundquist and Bill Raftery.
Jerome Moiso with 10 points, 44-33, an 11-point lead. Back to double digits now for UCLA. They jumped out 14-2. Maryland came back and tied it at 19-all, but here's another Maryland turnover. Lonnie Baxter.
Well, Maryland's had problems on the offensive end against the matchup defense. It's been a little confusing, some errant passes, but more importantly, at point, Earl Watson has run the offense in the half court. He's made some blatant strikes the length of the floor, and I guess most importantly, Vern, here's another alley-oop. Sends it in! Oh, my good, Jerron. I hope you don't get hurt. Mentioned his vertebrae in the morning, the way he twists. But they've been able to execute, particularly in the box area, very well. UCLA taking advantage of their big people.
11 assists for Earl Watson in the first half, and a steal. And here we go, 3-on-2. Kicks it left side. Young nailed it.
And how about the presentation? Blue plate special. Earl Watson on time. Oh. They're just lock and load.
Dixon counters at the other end. The tip is no good. A dream first half for Earl Watson.
UCLA Bruins on a roll as they hit halftime. 49-33 is the score there, and the winner of that game moves on to play Iowa State next week. Now, earlier today, Auburn and Iowa State, the Cyclones 79-60 winners over the Tigers. Marcus Fizer staking a claim in the paint. In one motion, watch it take the pass from Tinsley and hit the jumper to put the Cyclones up by 2. Now, second half, Clark.
Tinsley anticipates, and he's off to the races. He'll leave it beautifully for Michael Nurse. Cyclones go up by 3. And then Cantrell Horton drives and kicks to Tinsley, who seemed to have a hand in on every big play as Iowa State took control of this one.
The Cyclones win at 79-60, and as we said, they await the winner of UCLA against Maryland. Meanwhile, in the Midwest Regional in Cleveland, the Spartans of Michigan State came from behind to knock off Utah. The top seed survives and moves on 73-61. They will meet the Orangemen of Syracuse. Syracuse beat Kentucky today by a 52-50 score. Watch the combination. Kamara and Prince rally the Wildcats. They connect for the jam underneath.
But then Jason Hart's going to give the Orangemen a 1-point lead. Beautiful drive in traffic, 46-45 Orangemen. The Wildcats take advantage of Eton Thomas fouling out. That's Kamara again for the jam. Then Syracuse down is tied. 2-pointer for Preston Shumpert.
Now, seconds left in the game. Wildcats looking for the tie. Keith Bogans on the drive, gets the shot away. It doesn't go. Syracuse holds on to the ball and the win. 52-50 is the score. The Orange Men are in the Sweet 16, and they'll take on Michigan State Spartans. In the West region in Tucson, Purdue's Boilermakers 66-62 over third seed Oklahoma. Purdue quickly erasing the Sooner lead. Carson Cunningham to Greg McQuay for the alley-oop for a tie game.
We're tied at 60 here. Jerron Cornell looks at the three. It didn't go, but he was fouled. Let's take a look. From this angle, you can't tell, but I think it was the right call from another angle replay. He made all 3 free throws. Boilermakers by 3.
Oklahoma possession, less than 15 seconds to play. Cornell, watch him deflect the pass right there. Denies any winning attempt for Oklahoma. Purdue advances the final score, 66-62, and they await the winner of Gonzaga St. John's. In Salt Lake City in the West, the Wisconsin Badgers pull off the upset. They beat Arizona's Wildcats, the top seed, 66-59.
It's in the second half. Wisconsin led this one wire to wire. Mark Vershaw finds Mike Kelly. 7-point lead for the Badgers there.
Arizona cut the Wisconsin lead to 6. Shot clock winding down. Maurice Linton is there to extend the Badger lead. Scores under the bucket to make it 60-52. The Badgers go on to beat the top-seeded Wildcats after the game. Wisconsin coach Dick Bennett and Mike Kelly.
Just a bunch of guys that work pretty hard. I don't know if we're giant killers or what, but whatever we need to do, we try to do.
Oh, there's no pressure. We got the Cinderella shoe on, and we're just going to wear it as long as we can.
Well, Cinderella's in the Sweet 16 with a 66-59 win, and they will play LSU. In Salt Lake City today, the Tigers beat the Texas Longhorns 72-67. After the missed free throw, watch Stromile Swift fight for the rebound. Oh, he's right there all by himself. Slams it home. And Clark Kellogg's good friend, Captain Mardi Gras, on hand.
Swift had 23 points, 10 boards. How about this block? Nice denial of Chris Mim late in the game, then Swift. Going to show you his low box game. 64-60 LSU. They go on to win it by 5.
And LSU takes on the Wisconsin Badgers. That'll be next week in the Sweet 16. We'll take a timeout. We thank you for joining us here on Pennzoil at the half. We'll send you back to Tucson for the second half right after this.
Pennzoil at the half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
When you're in love, personal space is never an issue. At United Airlines, we realize not everyone's in love. Newly completed Economy Plus with up to 5 extra inches of space. One more thing we're doing to make it easier to stay united.
People, you can come out now. Look, I've got the wireless internet right here in my hand. No wires, no tricks, news, sports, shop, all online. And crystal clear calls, all right here on Sprint PCS. That's right. Come on out. Welcome back to the world.
Experience the power of the Sprint PCS wireless web.
Hey!
He's in the garage.
Hey!
If you're going to have a garage, have a garage. And if you're going to use an oil, use an oil. Pennzoil with Pure Base, specially formulated for stop-and-go driving.
Like what I've done with the place? Hey, what does this do? Well, that opens up the roof so I can airlift anything in or out of the garage.
Stop. Go. Pennzoil.
Oh, yeah! 9 of 14 from downtown for the Bulldogs. They beat
Some things just don't mix. Like drinking and driving.
Through its use
youth education through sports clinics, the NCAA fosters the dreams of children in sport and in life. Focusing on the discipline, confidence, and dedication involved in sports, student athletes can apply fundamentals both on and off the field. When it comes to playing with a purpose, just say yes.
Halftime, St. John's up 36-33. We'll return to Tucson, Arizona after this message and a word from your local station. They're watching CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
Introducing the Isuzu 10-year, 120,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want to drive your SUV around town all day? You're covered. You want to take it to the most treacherous backcountry you can find? Be our guest. You want to drive it off a cliff? Well, that's where the limited and limited warranty comes in. America's longest warranty. It covers most everything you do. Except, of course, the cliff thing.
The address is CBS. Make yourself at home for Everybody Loves Raymond.
What do people see in the all-new 2000 Ford Taurus? A personal safety system with dual-stage airbags that inflate to fit the driver and passenger, and adjustable pedals that allow for maximum driver comfort and convenience. Combine that with a breathtaking new style, and you'll see that safety never looked so good. Ford Taurus. Now get low 3.9% financing and $1,000 cash back. Visit your local Ford store and see yourself in a new Ford Taurus today.
At Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we do not measure success by our resources, our accomplishments, or by the respect and accolades we receive from our peers. To us, there is only one true measure of success. Yours. How do you measure success? At Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we measure success one investor at a time.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Isuzu, Compact iPad, Payne Weber, and by Bud Light.
Welcome back to the McKale Center in Tucson, 36-33 the score. Moments ago, Beth Moen spoke to Mark Hughes.
Mark, what do you need to do in the second half to get Richie a few more looks?
He's got to work a little bit harder away from the ball, and then our bigs have just got to sneak out and set a couple better screens for him, and we just need to attack more. They slowed us down, and we got to get our break going. We're best when we're flying up the floor and getting our offense out of that.
Gus Johnson, Dan Bonner, how do they get their break going?
I think they have to get their break going. The first thing you need to do is have the ball, and they haven't done a good job with defensive rebounding. St. John's has really been productive attacking the offensive boards, and so I think that's the biggest thing for Gonzaga is to get those defensive rebounds so they can get out and get rolling.
All right, let's take a look at the halftime statistics. Red Storm, 15 of 30 from the field. Gonzaga, 11 of 27.
And if you look at that St. John's 15 of 30, that includes 1 for 8 from three-point range, 24 points on the inside for St. John's, and I think that's the key. Gonzaga has to cut that off. 10 of those points are a direct result of offensive rebounds, and Gonzaga simply cannot give up those second chance points. You heard Mike Jarvis talk about how St. John's had to stop the second chance points. Well, I think it's a more important matter for Gonzaga.
Richie Fromm, the leading scorer in the West Coast Conference this year, at 16 a game, 0 for 3 in the first half for Gonzaga.
No points for Fromm, only 1 point for Calvary.
Bench, Calvary, rebound, stick back.
And that's the second chance points that Mike Jarvis was upset about. Calvary gets them going early.
St. John's had 10 second chance points in that first half of play. Bootsy Thornton and a foul called on Floyd.
We mentioned that Fromm and Calvary really haven't been able to get it going in the first half, but Santangelo with 3 3-point baskets and 10 points, and Dench with 12 tough inside points for Gonzaga are keeping the Bulldogs in the game.
Floyd picks up his first.
And in the man-to-man, that is a difficult matchup for Floyd.
Barkley for 3. Eric Barkley. 9 points now.
St. John's has done a nice job slowing the Bulldogs down with this press, and they've also done a nice job creating turnovers.
From now Calvary.
Boy, Fromm's not even looking for a shot.
Dench leans in. Off the front rim, no good. Glover with the great rebound. Glover had a terrific first half of play.
That was outstanding ball movement by Gonzaga, but Fromm didn't even look at it.
Jesse misses. Santangelo the other way. Glover with 10 points in the first half. 4 of 4 from the field. And what a screen. Dench leveling Thornton. Inside Calvary. Dunks it on Glover.
And that's the value of Casey Calvary. It really hurt Gonzaga that Calvary picked up those 2 fouls in the first minute and a half of the game.
39-37, Barkley, dribble penetration. Postel with the rebound and the kick. New shot clock. Now Barkley winds up. Looks like he may have been fouled on his elbow. No call.
And St. John's has a tendency of allowing teams to hang around, and Gonzaga staying around.
Dench calling for it. Weak side. Floyd wide open. Gonzaga takes the lead. First time. 40-39.
St. John's had good success early in the game against the Gonzaga man-to-man by getting it to Postel inside against Fromm.
Postel picks it out. Barkley for 3. Count it. Eric Barkley starting to warm up. He has 3 threes and 12 points.
Barkley only a 30% three-point shooter on the year.
But he is a money player. Inside Calvary, bad shot. He was double teamed. And Postel brings it up the floor.
I think Calvary was looking for the foul on that play. And Gonzaga stays in the man-to-man.
Postel, Glover, got a wheel off the glass, and he's fouled.
Gonzaga got back in the game and took the lead by making good passes inside-out game. But here Calvary, surrounded by 3 guys, elects to try to power it to the basket. That is not a good play.
Casey Calvary called for his 3rd foul.
Glover going to the line, had 10 points and 3 rebounds early, but then he had to sit down with 2 personal fouls, and that hurt the St. John's attack in the first half.
2 for 3 from the line for Anthony Glover. There's one good. Sunday on 60 Minutes. Who are the new masters on the net? The internet, that is. They're taking the cyber world by storm, and why is the mayor of one of the world's hottest vacation spots giving visitors the cold shoulder? The answer Sunday on 60 Minutes. Glover, 2 in a row.
I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with Glover's ability at 6'6" to play down on the interior. Now St. John's back in the zone again. And it is a very widely spread, very active zone.
Calvary across the middle. Nice look with the left hand.
And with that zone spread way out, trying to stop the 3-point basket, Calvary is going to get a lot of opportunities inside.
2-point game.
Trying to post Thornton up inside against Floyd.
Knocked away. Floyd with 20 to shoot.
And the reason they couldn't throw the ball inside to Floyd, Gus, was because Dench was standing right behind Thornton.
Size giving St. John's problem, did against Northern Arizona. with their quickness usually prevailing. Here's Postel. Barkley from way deep. And Dench with the rebound. Gonzaga can tie it up with the deuce. Go ahead with the three. Dench for three. Dench, 15 points. He averages 9 on the year. 1 point Gonzaga leads.
Dench had 14 last night, or excuse me, in the first round. Gonzaga stays in the man-to-man.
Thornton, 19-footer, short, loose ball, rebound, Postel, great look to Glover. Postel is really aggressive on the offensive glass.
Does a great job getting to the boards. You have to find him and block him out.
Knocked away. Now Santangelo, 16-footer. Zag starting to see, as they say. See the basket. 47-46.
Now Gonzaga drops back into the zone defense. And the Bulldogs had a tough time rebounding out of this zone in the first half.
Inside Glover. No call. Looked like a foul. Jesse picks it up. And
stepped on the line.
Stepped on the line. 14:40 to go. 1 point game.
Good evening, folks.
Hold the door, hold the door. Hey, hold that elevator. Hold one more. Whoa. Hey, open the door. Somebody get that, please. People, somebody press a button. Frank, come on, I can see you in there. Please open the door. Hey. Now, come on, we're reasonable people here. Hey, look. Oh, that's my Bud Light.
Hit it, Frank.
Whoa.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
I can't shake them. Is this going on?
Make it a Bud Light.
My dad wouldn't have called this retirement. I mean, who would have...
When do I get to retire from managing my money? Now that I have
trustees.
7 grandkids.
Kind of funny how investing was easier when I didn't have any money.
Titanium bikes are overrated.
I always thought earning money was the hard part. Keeping is the real job.
I wonder, should we take the income?
Should we reinvest?
Thank you, Payne Weber.
A computer that is so last century. Introducing iPac, the first internet device for business. A kinder, simpler device with the Intel Pentium 3 processor that taps into the power of the internet and meets all your business computing needs. The age of simple internet computing has arrived. iPac from Compaq.
Are you a hardcore driver? Do you want a well-built car that delivers solid driving excitement? This is the Pontiac Grand Am, the only car built with solid form design. It's hard to the core. Are you a hardcore driver? Grand Am by Pontiac.
Gonzaga leads St. John's 47-46. Gus Johnson, Dan Bonner with you, along with Beth Moa in the game summary.
And Gonzaga really heating it up in the second half. They've got 3 3-point baskets. Dench doing a great job with 15 points and 5 rebounds. Dench, who has a career high of 28 points, has really had a good regional out here in Tucson. 14 points in the opening round win, and now 15 so far today.
Gonzaga 6 of 9 from the field in the second half. Here comes the trap. And Zag breaking.
St. John's drops back into the man-to-man defense, trying to change the tempo of this game.
Floyd along with Fromm, Dench, Spink, and Santangelo. Dench across the lane. Tough shot. Count it. The Aussie ruling today.
Against the man-to-man defense, St. John's really has to give Emmanuel some help down inside. Dench, a very skilled offensive player. Nobody comes to help. He's got all day down there to work against Emmanuel, and he is able to get the shot off very effectively. Remember, he is 6'11". St. John's doesn't have anybody close to that size.
He misses a free throw. Gonzaga on a 9-2 run, 49-46.
Gonzaga goes back to the man-to-man.
Jesse crosses over, pull-up jumper, short. Jesse with the steal. 15-footer. This time he connects.
That is a big basket by Jesse.
Reggie Jesse does a little bit of everything for this St. John's team. Rebound, play defense, and he can hit that medium-range jump shot. One-point game. Dent again. Dent posted up, leans in, short. And a foul. We head the other way. And the bracket here in the West. Second round action in Tucson, Arizona. Purdue, a 6, knocking off Oklahoma, a 3. And Gonzaga, St. John's will play. The winner will play Purdue.
And then game one, an intense physical basketball game that turned in the end on a 3-point attempt that was called a foul, and Cornell went to the line and hit 3 to seal it up for the Boilermakers.
Spink called for his 3rd foul. Postel all alone. And a rebound to Calvary.
Calvary has 6 points in the second half and has been effective.
Santangelo off the dribble, in and out, loose ball. Glover comes up with it. Now Thornton in the front court. Double pump, draws the foul and goes down hard.
And they're going to get Spink.
And Bootsy's hurt, but he gets up.
I think it'd take an awful lot to hurt Bootsy. I think he's angry is what he is. This all starts with a great outlet pass by Glover. You don't understand the importance of getting the ball out of the defensive zone and getting it up quickly. Santangelo trying to prevent the shot, and the foul is called. Spink just steps into him as he's coming down.
Undercutting, trying to block out.
But a tremendous fast break by St. John's.
St. John's fans on their feet.
The quickness of the Red Storm is really something to watch. They attack you so fast coming down on offense.
So Bootsy Thornton, 4 points at the line. And Spink takes a seat. His 4th foul.
And this forces Gonzaga to go with a little bit smaller lineup, and that might create some matchup problems.
Second free throw good for Thornton. Ties the game up at 49. Now full court pressure by St. John's. Santangelo double team, trying to dribble out of trouble, and a reach-in foul on Barkley. His second.
Going to that double team to force Santangelo to give up the ball, and Santangelo simply refuses to do it. Barkley's trying to move his feet, but Santangelo, a very powerfully built 6'1".
49 apiece. St. John's led by as many as 9 in the first half of play. A Floyd diagonal pass from Gord, leans in. Rebound to Glover, who's fouled. Over the back, coming up on the freshman Zach Gord. His second.
Mark Few claiming that Gord was fouled on his way to the basket. St. John's doing a great job with the pressure up front and then getting back quickly on defense to prevent the easy opportunities.
15 foul called against Gonzaga. Eric Barkley.
Gonzaga back to the zone.
Chudney Gray, ball fake, missed, rebounded Santangelo. Busting through the defense, Santangelo, free throw line extended, tapped back out by Calvary to Floyd. It's short, and Postel with the weak side rebound.
You got some guys really going up after the ball. Calvary, then Postel.
Reggie Jesse ready to check back in. Thornton spins. Postel. Pump fake. 15-footer. Loose ball. And Gray can't tip it in.
Boy, what great elevation by Postel on that jump shot.
Shots not falling for St. John's. And a foul by Thornton. .11:32 to go. Second half of play. We are tied at 49.
You know, it's times like these, I think about the wide track Grand Prix. Its speed-sensitive steering gives you road gripping control, so even tight corners won't get you off track. Oh. The wide track Grand Prix. Wider is better. By Pontiac.
I see a little silhouette of a kind.
Mountain Dew, time to do the slam dunk go. Citrus taste and quenching, very, very exciting me. Fantastico, Fantastico, Figaro. Here we go.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires? Any road you choose.
And now we've been ranked best original equipment tire for light truck vehicles and customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates.
BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Bonnie Blair and I don't take the same approach to investing. She looks for speed. I'm more into figures. But we do share the same new way to trade online.
Introducing Power Street by Fidelity, with information the way you want it, from real-time quotes and wireless access for those who like speed, to market analysis from Lehman Brothers for those who like figures.
Sorry, stop order.
Power Street at Fidelity.com. System availability and response time may be subject to market conditions.
The Volante crime family has many members, but only one belongs to the FBI.
You smell anything bad?
Foul Code begins CBS April 4th.
Tournament summary, the big news today. Arizona, the #1 seed in the West, playing in Salt Lake City, falls to Wisconsin. And the heroes today.
And down there at the bottom of the screen, Gus, Mark Vershaw from Wisconsin has made the people around here very unhappy.
Arizona plays here at the McKale Center. 49 apiece, our score. St. John's 4 of 14 shooting in the second half of play. After shooting 50% in the first half, that's 28% in the second half so far for the Red Storm.
Now St. John's goes back to the zone. And Gonzaga had some success inside against this zone earlier in the half.
Calvary in the pivot, across. What an athlete.
He can really jump, and that's going to be a problem for St. John's. Unless they can get some help against Calvary, he can simply jump over everyone in there.
51 to 49. Calvary with 9 points. Postel, the runner on the baseline. Nice shot for LeVar Postel.
And that penetration into that zone has been effective for St. John's earlier. And I'm sure Mike Jarvis is glad to see Postel go back to it.
Gonzaga doing a much better job against the full-court pressure. Gonzaga 8 turnovers.
They turned it over 7 times early in the game, but you're right, Gus. It's been a while since they've turned it over.
Fromm for 3. Finally, 1 for 4, Richie Fromm. And Gonzaga takes a 54-51 lead. And they get back into the 2-3. Barkley for 3. The answer, Eric Barkley. His fourth three of the game, and we're tied at 54. Foul cord, double teamed, tied up. Anthony Glover tying him up. Possession arrow favors St. John's.
And that is just the strength of Glover inside. Nice job by St. John's to drop down and double-team Gord. They didn't do it the last time against Calvary, and Gord just simply doesn't have the strength to get the ball away from Glover.
St. John's, the number 2 seed. Gonzaga, the 10th seed. And we're tied at 54.
Gonzaga stays in that zone.
Bounce pass, Glover. Knocked out of bounds, and nobody from Gonzaga touched it, so the Zags get it back.
It is amazing to me the confidence that the St. John's players have in Glover inside.
He's got great hands.
Well, they've thrown him the ball in some awfully tough situations. There was no way he was going to be able to do anything if he was able to catch that ball.
UCLA throttling now. Wow. Floyd with the step. And a whistle and foul on Glover. His third. Fourth team foul against the Red Storm.
The Red Storm have had some success penetrating off the dribble against the St. John's zone, and now Gonzaga turning the tables just a little bit. Now with Calvary and Dench both in the game at the same time, let's see if Gonzaga can get something inside.
Here's Calvary, double team, and another foul. This time Bootsy Thornton. His second.
You want to wait till the big guy dribbles it inside before you try to knock the ball away from him. Thornton trying to smack it away from Calvary while Calvary was holding it above his head.
From off the dribble. Calvary from deep. Rims out. Saved by Thornton, but he can't hold on.
Calvary actually a very good three-point shooter, 44% on the year, and had a good look at it.
Floyd for three. Air ball. Here come the Red Storm. Jesse, eyes up.
Eyes like radar, looking for Postel.
Barkley again. Loose ball. Calvary swoops in for the rebound.
Postel got his hand on it, but Calvary was able to control it. St. John's does not want to rely on Barkley from out beyond the three-point arc. They need to get some inside.
Weak side, Santangelo. And the rebound to Postel. Here comes Barkley at the mid-court line. Barkley splits the defense. And he comes up short.
And Fromm is really upset with himself. That was a 1-on-3, and Barkley's able to knife through. Postel does a great job running this ball down in the corner, and on one foot makes the pass out to half court, and Barkley, no hesitation at all, 1-on-3. He goes right through Fromm and Santangelo to draw the foul.
Eric Barkley, so quick. And he misses the first.
We talked about him being only 2 for 12 in the victory against Northern Arizona, but the big steal sealing the win at the end of the game. But he has really stepped up his offense.
15 points. Santangelo called for his second foul, and he misses a pair. Floyd with the rebound. And a reach-in foul on Barkley.
A little frustration, I think.
Third foul on Barkley. Now Spink checking back into the game.
And Floyd going out. Mark Few trying to work with that short bench.
So Gonzaga goes big. Fromm along with Santangelo in the backcourt. Spink, Calvary, and Dench in the front court. Here's a trap. Inside Spink, left hand.
Spink has had a great game. A couple of monster dunks, and that time a nice little move to the basket.
6 points for Spink. Gonzaga by 2. Postel, big shot. And Calvary with the rebound.
That's awfully early in the clock for LeVar Postel to be taking the three.
7:57 to go. Richie Fromm.
Zone defense for St. John's. Ward can hit the three.
Dench. 9 to shoot. Here's Fromm. Knocked away. 6 to shoot. Fromm. Santangelo. Desperation. Oh! Wow! 59-54. Biggest lead of the game for the Zags. Postel inside Jesse. Remember, folks, St. John's, they are cool under pressure. Hard to rattle these kids.
Boy, that quieted the crowd, Gus. That was a really important basket.
From deep. Barkley hustles it down, but steps on the line. Tried to get the timeout, but couldn't. 6:47 to go. 59-56.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
Stop assuming that just because you're hugging one of these, you can't have a car that was made for hugging these. Oldsmobile Alero with the road-hugging active response system. Alero by Oldsmobile.
Bob, can you make sure Carol gets these?
Oh, thanks, Bob. Have a good night.
Payday, Bob.
Hi, Karen. Husband's still in there working late again.
What a trooper.
How do you plan on providing for your family after you pass away? Conseco's life insurance policies can give your loved ones a regular monthly paycheck. Conseco, step up.
Look, Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free. Free? Free. Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. Flight 126 has been cancelled. There is another flight, Union Atlantic Air Flight 176, at a gate 54. It has 5 remaining seats.
MySAP.com helps companies and people work together in real time.
Correction, 4 remaining seats.
Enterprise? You rented our car from Enterprise?
Yeah.
Why Enterprise?
Because they pick us up.
Free.
A free pickup? Wow. They ought to be number one.
They are number one.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Game summary. Three-point shooting a factor in the second half. Gonzaga 7 of 19. However, they have 4 threes in the second half of play.
And their ability to get the ball inside to Calvary and Dench has also been significant. St. John's shot 50% in the first half. They've fallen off with their inside game in the second half. It's been Barkley keeping them in it with threes.
Richie Fromm in the corner. And a whistle and another touch foul.
And that's Barkley. And that's 4.
And the Reds score over the limit. 1-1 for Richie Fromm.
And Fromm is the last guy from Gonzaga you want to send to the line. He's an 80% free throw shooter.
First one good. What young players have to figure out, old players as well, they have to adjust to the officiating.
That was not a real good foul. You just don't even want to give the referee out at half court the chance to blow the whistle. You just stay away from the guy. Nothing you're going to accomplish out there.
Obviously, the officials calling it tight. 61-56.
St. John's down by 5 again, the last time they responded with a basket.
Barkley. Not a lot of penetration going on for St. John.
Barkley's got to be careful with his penetration. He doesn't want to pick up a charge.
Now Jesse to Barkley. Nice pump. Step back three. Off the back rim. Fromm with the rebound. Inside Dench. Backdoor Calvary. And a foul.
And that's a good foul by Postel. Dench didn't see Calvary right away or it would have been a basket.
Third foul on Postel.
Dench and Calvary have really worked effectively in the second half against the St. John's defense. Calvary was open for a second before Dench saw him, and that allowed Postel to get over and stop the easy basket.
So Casey Calvary at the free throw line. Chutney Gray ready to check in.
And Mike Jarvis looking, I guess, for a little more quickness in this lineup. Doesn't like the way the game is going, trying to change the pace.
Second free throw good. 9-2 run for Gonzaga. 63-56.
Lots of time for St. John's, but they really have to get into a rhythm against this zone defense.
What do they need to do to crack it?
I think they need to get Postel penetrating with the dribble.
There you have it, but he misses. Knocked out of bounds, we head the other way.
You can't have Barkley penetrating with the dribble because he's got the 4 fouls, so I think that Thornton and Postel both have to look to drive the ball into that zone.
Inside, stolen Glover. Thornton back to Glover. Off the glass at end, plus the foul. Anthony Glover stealing the ball and finishing.
And of course, it always helps to play against the zone if you can beat it down the court, and St. John's getting it down on the defensive end. Calvary doesn't step to the ball. He allows Glover to pick it off, and then Glover just keeps on running. A bad foul by Santangelo.
St. John's. Glover misses the free throw. 63-58. Gonzaga, they turned it over 10 times. Fromm frees himself. Long rebound. Here comes Barkley.
And that's what you need to do against Fromm. Make him step inside that three-point line. 55% of his shot attempts come from beyond the arc. Make him put it on the deck, take one dribble, and shoot the 2.
Barkley drives baseline, and a foul.
And they called the foul on Calvary. That's 4 for him. And this is what we're talking about. The penetration puts pressure on the defense. Calvary steps in and gets the hip check.
18th foul against Gonzaga. So Calvary with 4. Spink with 4. Calvary takes a seat with 4:56 to go. Eric Barkley at the line.
Calvary going to the bench. We've seen how valuable he can be on the offensive end in this second half. That hurts Gonzaga to have him out of the game.
Eric Barkley, 16 points, had 6 at halftime. The second.
Boy, 9 for 17 from the free throw line in a close game by St. John's is not good. St. John's starting to swarm with that pressure.
Santangelo. Boy, they are hitting shots.
If you don't steal the ball out of the press, you're going to give up an open look.
Postel elevates, short, tapped out to Barkley. Now Thornton in the corner. How about that? Bootsy Thornton answers.
Another second chance basket.
66-62. 16-second chance points for St. John's. Now Dent. 4 minutes to go.
St. John's back into the man-to-man. They're going to try to post Dench up inside.
Floyd, 6 to shoot. Stop and start. Kicks it down. And a foul.
And that was with 1 second left on the shot clock, and now Glover has 4 personal fouls. This is really a break for Gonzaga. You've got to give Floyd some credit for not giving up on the ball. It slapped out of his hands. How did he get that ball past Thornton? Shot clock in the lower left as Floyd penetrates down in there with a foul with 1 second left.
Spink, a 60% free throw shooter. Misses the first. Right at his average. Makes the second. 3:49 to go in the second half of play. 67-62.
So I got off the elevator and said, what is this, the 7th inning stretch? American Express.
Lovely.
Let's do the whole country. I'm a little light on the lingo.
Get a full gander down the frog with me.
All right.
We've got Cornish pasties, bangers and mash, public sweet, and lovely toady out.
That was a wicked googly. So I took the butchers up the apples and pears and said, what is this, the tea interval? All over the world, you can do more with the American Express card.
This is an ordinary cell phone. This is Nextel, and it's going to change the way you do business thanks to Direct Connect, its digital two-way radio feature. Frank, you see it? Not yet. It ensures instant contact. Bridget.
Got it.
Cost a fraction of cellular. It just passed. And it makes other cell phones...
Ready now.
obsolete.
Direct Connect from Nextel. How business gets done.
Drive the car, get the ball. Test drive a new Oldsmobile, get a $50 certificate toward the ball or any other sports gear from MVP.com. Go to Oldsmobile.com for details. Then drive the car and get the ball.
Triple luck, triple foul cow. Wow, he really nailed that landing.
Yo. What's up?
But what y'all doing?
Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you?
Watching the game, having a bud.
What game are you watching?
Yes! It doesn't get more magical than this.
Think fast. Ooh, I'm sorry, are you okay? Well, that's gonna leave a mark.
Christy Swanson stars in Grapevine, all new CBS Mondays.
67-62, Gonzaga leads St. John's. 3:49 to go in the second half of play. (67-62) the score. 3:49 to go. Gonzaga seeded number 10, St. John's number 2. And the Zags have the Red Storm on the ropes right now.
Shooting the ball very well in the second half. St. John's having trouble getting inside the Gonzaga defense. And Gonzaga has gone back to the man-to-man.
Postel! Whoa!
That's the way St. John's started the game, going with Postel inside against the man-to-man.
Talking about an explosion. Santangelo the other way. Out of bounds, we head the other way. change that. It's last touch by the Red Storm.
LeVar Postel just goes right by Spink. He never has a chance, and watch Postel elevate. This is just great quickness against the defense. Dench not able to get over in time. Now St. John's also in the man-to-man.
Floyd down the lane. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Red Storm with 11 to shoot.
And against the man-to-man, Gonzaga in the second half has had some success getting the ball inside to Casey Calvary.
Reggie Jesse back in, and Chudney Gray heads out. 11 on the shot clock. Santangelo, the inbounder. Santangelo to Fromm. Under 3 to go. 8 to shoot. Fromm looking for a shot. Hard around the corner.
Oh, big shot!
7 points for Fromm. 69-64. Now Postel. Thornton for 3. Loose ball. And Fromm with the rebound. Floyd.
Boy, St. John's really scrapping on defense.
14 to shoot.
Lots of time.
Santangelo leans in. Oh, my goodness.
He knows Barkley's got 4 personal fouls. That's a great move by Santangelo.
Gonzaga putting on a clinic here in the second half. Santangelo with 20. 71-64. Thornton down the lane. He's fouled.
And he's fouled by Dench. Gonzaga back into the zone, and that time Thornton's taking the ball to the basket.
His second personal, 19th foul.
Dench called for his second, and it's the 19th foul against Gonzaga. So Bootsy Thornton steps to the line, has 8 points. Thornton 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 1 of 7 from the three-point line tonight.
And it's 1-1. They ruled he was not in the act of shooting.
It's the first to go. The CBS Sports Line stat of the game, free throw shooting. St. John's 10 of 18. Gonzaga 13 of 19. Get complete NCAA tournament coverage at cbs.sportsline.com. Those free throws good for Bootsy Thornton.
And speaking of free throws, as we come down the stretch, remember Gonzaga is not a good free throw shooting team.
Santangelo over the line to Dench.
Oh, he thought about it.
He certainly did. 1:29 to go. Red Storm need to stop right here.
Dench looking for the ball inside.
Santangelo has been big. For 3. Oh! 74-66. Thornton for 3. And it's rebounded by Fromm. The Gonzaga Bulldogs are 57 seconds away from knocking off the number 2 seed and heading into the Sweet 16. Santangelo in the corner, Dench. Now Jesse to Thornton. Down the lane. What a shot. What a left hand. Time off St. John's. Bootsy Thornton in motion. 41.4 to go.
Kilago, alone on Kilago, how empty it seems with only my dreams.
Introducing the 3.2 CL from Acura.
The game reset, 41.4 to go. Each team over the limit, approaching the double bonus. Gonzaga with 4 timeouts, St. John's with 3. And if you're St. John's, trailing by 6 with 41.4 to do, what do you do, Danny?
You obviously are going to try to steal the ball on the inbounds pass. I don't think you're going to worry about fouling on the inbounds pass. If you don't get the steal, you have to foul right away. Remember, Gonzaga, only a 66% free throw shooting team. You'd like to keep the ball out of the hands of Santangelo and Fromm if you're St. John's.
Red Storm refused to guard the inbounder, Calvary, and he calls a timeout.
No, there's not a timeout. They called a foul on LeVar Postel.
And Mike Jarvis is livid. The other official signaled for a timeout,
but the call was made before the timeout signal. LeVar Postel was called for holding out at midcourt. And the only question is, who are they going to send to the free throw line? Let's see if we can find LeVar Postel. He's the guy right here. Well, no, I'm wrong. That was not Postel. Well, I thought that they pointed at LeVar Postel.
Santangelo at the line. And the officials have not signaled who committed the foul. And now they're saying Chutney Gray committed the foul. Both free throws good for Santangelo. Gray the other way. Straight to the basket. And a whistle.
And he got fouled.
Let's take a look at the last foul.
Well, let's see if we can find Chutney Gray. Right here is Chutney Gray right at the three-point line against Matt Santangelo. And you can see as you look real closely that he does have his arm wrapped around Santangelo. That's what the official sees, and that clearly occurred before Calvary called the timeout. The official behind the play made the call, and what he saw was the hand wrapped around Santangelo, and he called the foul.
Gray makes the first. Reggie Jesse back in. Dench back in for Gonzaga. Spink takes a seat. Second free throw, no good. Tipped out. Glover to the basket. Off the glass and good. With 32.2 to go. 5-point game.
Hello? What? Are you sure? Okay, we'll be right there.
What is it?
Minnie Blackwell's having a party.
Let's roll.
Looking for a good time? The Civic from Honda.
Game reset. Both teams in the double bonus. 4 timeouts remaining for the Bulldogs, 2 for the Red Storm.
LeVar Postel with the big tip on the offensive boards, enabling St. John's to get the offensive rebound. St. John's has scored 21 second chance points.
Now Dench inbounded to Fromm, and he's fouled by Jesse quickly with 30.8 to go.
It's a good move by Gonzaga to be able to get the ball inbounds to their best free throw shooter. St. John's over the 10 foul limit, so Fromm will get 2 opportunities from the line.
Richie Fromm, 7 points, close to 80% on the year.
This one, of course, is the big one. It makes it a 3-possession game.
The Zags trying to advance to the Sweet 16 for the second straight year. They knocked off second-seeded Stanford last year. 78-71. Gray to Barkley. Reverse layup is good. With 24.5 to go, and they foul from again.
Fouls on number 3, Chutney Gray.
Chutney Gray called for the foul. Richie Fromm.
And once again, Gonzaga does a great job getting the ball to their best free throw shooter. Now he's got to convert.
And he does. Missed the second.
2-possession game.
Barkley for 3. Got it. Timeout. 17.4 to go.
This is your new business. And this is your new car. The new Volvo V40. Now get back to work. Every bit of Volvo for about $24,000.
Let's reset it once again for you. Each team in the double bonus. Gonzaga still with 4 timeouts, 1 remaining for St. John's. Here's the last basket.
And Barkley has been big all day for St. John's, and he nails that one. Mike Jarvis knows he needs 2 threes. Reaction a little bit different on the Gonzaga bench.
So on the floor now for the Red Storm, it's Jesse Chutney Gray along with Postel, Glover, and Bootsy Thornton. Here's the full court pressure. Santangelo fouled by Jesse with 15.9 to go.
Santangelo only a 65% free throw shooter, but he's going to go to the line with the opportunity for 2.
79-76. Santangelo 3 of 4.
And what a game he has had tonight.
6 of 10 from the field. First one short. As a matter of fact, Santangelo, is 6 of 10 from the three-point line, 8 of 14 from the field. Now Barkley back into the game.
And Gonzaga's got to try to make sure that St. John's runs some time off the clock. Now it's a 2-possession game again.
Barring a 4-point play. Chutney Gray. Barkley for 3. Off the front rim. Gray out of bounds. Gonzaga gets it back with 6.9 to go. Timeout St. John's. 6.9 remaining. 80-76. The game reset. Both teams in the double bonus. No timeouts remaining for the Red Storm. 4 remaining for Gonzaga with 6.9 to go.
And the problem for St. John's, Gonzaga has the ball. They've got a 2-possession lead. St. John's almost has to get a steal and a quick basket, and then foul immediately.
Dench, the inbound, and Glover guards the ball.
You don't want to throw the ball back towards the St. John's basket.
And a foul call before the ball was thrown in bounds. Postel fouling Casey Calvary. Calvary running all around the floor, trying to get away from Postel because he doesn't want to go to the line. Calvary is 60% free throw shooter. Has 11 points, 10 in the second half of play.
Now, no time ran off the clock, but St. John's now all the way at the other end of the court. No matter what he does, and he makes it. They don't have enough time.
That may do it.
What an effort by Gonzaga.
Both good. 82-76. Barkley for 3. No good. Richie from the Gonzaga Bulldogs are heading to Albuquerque. 82-76 the final. Gonzaga defeats St. John's. The number 10 seed knocks off the number 2 seed. Gonzaga, a bracket buster. Let's take a look. 2 upsets here in Tucson. Purdue knocking off Oklahoma, and Gonzaga knocking off St. John's. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. Matt Santangelo, the senior, 26 points, 4 rebounds. Eric Barkley, 21 and 4. And listen to the crowd. So the Zags are back. They do it again, knocking off a 7 and a 2 en route to the Sweet 16. The hero, Matt Santangelo. Also, Axel Dench. The Zags will meet Purdue, the final 82-76. Coming up after commercial, Greg Gumbel in New York.
There's a place in America where the sun shines a little brighter in the month of March, where the townfolk reminisce of peach baskets and parquet, where the fruits of hard labor are served up with a smile.
Freshly baked finger rolls.
And folks who visit are always invited to stay as long as they can. Welcome to Bracketville.
Tommy, you're doing great on making fries. That's why I'm moving you over to burgers. The big extra. Everything about it is big. I'm not just talking size. I'm talking taste. You're not just making a big extra. You're making his big extra.
Wow. Sounds like a big job.
Well, you can handle it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You'll do just fine.
Where can you get the big extra made hot, fresh, right when you order? Did somebody say McDonald's?
To see inside the human heart, a doctor once needed a scalpel. But with ultrasound systems from Agilent Technologies, doctors can now spot problems that once went undetected. And sometimes even fix them without surgery. To see inside the human heart is to sometimes see relief.
Drive the car, get the ball. Test drive a new Oldsmobile, get a $50 certificate toward the ball or any other sports gear from MVP.com. Go to Oldsmobile.com for details. Then drive the car and get the ball.
Same room as last year.
Feels like I have the same cold, stuffy, sneezing, fever. Last time, up all night. How could I focus at 6 a.m.? Try NyQuil. I'll feel better, even with a monster cold.
With NyQuil Relief, you can rest. And when you wake up...
Good luck, laddie.
NyQuil. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest and have a good morning medicine.
You got your pickup looking great.
Thanks.
How about a lift?
Sure. Where would you like to go? How about Pep Boys?
That's a great idea, because right now, Pep Boys is offering free installation of quality Gabriel Pro Rider premium shocks for your truck, van, or SUV. That's right, free installation up to a $40 value when you buy Gabriel Pro Rider shocks.
Truck's riding great. Glad you suggested Pep Boys.
That makes two of us.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
Hey, Mark, you order all this food?
Yeah, anywhere. And I don't have any. I come cash poor.
Your dinner. You pay for it.
We're trying to get a little work done here.
Mark?
Can you add it on to whatever I'm paying you to live here?
Sort of like room service?
Yeah.
What's this look like? A Holiday Inn?
You want room service? You got it. Holiday Inn gives you more, and more is better.
Greg Gumbel back in New York. Gonzaga 82-76 winners over the Red Storm of St. John to move on to meet Purdue. Let's go out to Tucson. Dan Bonner's with a happy group. Dan.
Thank you, Greg. Matt Santangelo, the game was on the line. The ball came to you. You took over the game. Tell us what was going on out there.
Well, you know, we had success against their zone, made them go man. Casey started going to work on the inside and Axel, too, and that opens up the perimeter. I just stepped up and knocked down some shots.
6 for 10 from the three-point line. A very happy coach, Mark Few, with AJ and Marcy. Mark, how does it feel in your first year you're going back to the Sweet 16?
I'm just so happy for these kids. They've worked so hard over the course of their entire basketball careers. And to shine, you know, when all the lights are on you is just huge. And I couldn't be more proud of a group of kids. And the way Matt played tonight was just unbelievable.
The lights were on, and they really did shine. Greg, back to you.
All right, Dan, thanks very much. Gonzaga becomes the first number 10 seed to advance to the Sweet 16 in consecutive years. They'll move on to play Purdue. One other game just final in Minneapolis. The UCLA Bruins move on to meet Ohio State. They clobbered the Terps today, 105-70. Coming up next here on CBS, Chuck Norris is Walker, Texas Ranger. That follows as soon as we sign off here. We remind you we'll be back with you at noon tomorrow. Clark and I will be here in the studio, and we'll get you set for Pepperdine against Oklahoma State out of the East. Then 4 more games come your way around 2:15. They include 2nd seed Cincinnati in the South and the top seed Stanford out of the East. 4th seed Florida against number 5 Florida, and number 2 Temple against number 10 Seton Hall. And to wrap things up, Miami against Ohio State, UConn against Tennessee, Kansas will meet top-seeded Duke. We thank you for joining us. For all of us here at CBS Sports, I'm Greg Gumbel. For Clark Kellogg, we'll see you at noon tomorrow on the road to the Final Four. Say goodnight, Clark.
Good night.
Starting at 2:15 Eastern Time, we'll have 4 games going on, including Stanford, the number 1 seed in the South, taking on North Carolina. Then the final wave of games gets underway about 4:40 p.m. By the way, a note on the Tennessee-UConn game. We have late word that Huskies guard Khalid El-Amin will start for the Huskies, but he is far from 100% due to the high ankle sprain he sustained on Friday. In all, 7 hours of wall-to-wall tournament basketball. Let's show you how some teams advanced to the regional semifinals last night. Starting with UCLA, the Bruins jumped on Maryland early and never let up. What a day for Earl Watson.
A school record 16 assists to go along with 17 points and 0 turnovers.
Steve Lavin talked about him after the game.
I've said this now for a month, but he's playing as well as any guard in America, not just the Pac-10, and tonight demonstrated again.
So in the Midwest, UCLA moves on and will take on Iowa State. And in the other half of that bracket, Michigan State will face Syracuse. In the West region, Wisconsin, Arizona, Mark Vershaw led the Badgers with 15. Watch after the fake. Buries the jumper. Wisconsin was up big. Arizona began to try to move.
Ran out of time. They cut the lead to 6 with the clock winding down, but then Maurice Linton scored 9 of his 14 in the last 3 minutes to lead Wisconsin to the win.
Arizona, the #1 seed in the West, upset. Also in the West last night, St. John star Eric Barkley drives to the lane, 2 of his 21. Red Storm was up big early, but Gonzaga did come back.
On the strength of Max Santangelo, he knocked down a bunch of three-pointers. One right here to give the Zags a 8-point lead. At that point, they go on to win by 6.
82-76, and Coach Jarvis, a few of the shaking hands, and the fans in Spokane approved as well. What happens in the West? Gonzaga moves on to face the Boilermakers of Purdue out of the Big Ten, and the other half of that bracket has Wisconsin taking on LSU. A timeout here, and the road to the Final Four will continue on CBS after this word from your local station.
For the King of Queens,
the address is CBS.
This portion of NCAA basketball is brought to you by your local Ford store.
In 1991, there were 5 sport utilities. The #1 seller, Ford Explorer. Today, sport utilities are everywhere, and Ford Explorer is still #1. The reasons? 4-wheel ABS, V8 engine, control track 4-wheel drive, a reverse sensing system, more cargo room, side airbags, and much more. Now get 3-9 financing or $1,000 cash back on Explorer. One more reason to visit your local Ford store today.
The world's largest factory closeout sale is here. Save hundreds, even thousands of dollars on truckloads of top brand casual furniture by Tropitone, Woodard, Meadowcraft, Lloyd Flanders. Plus, everything in stock. Factory reps will even be on hand competing for your business with truckloads of new and discontinued models at 30 to 70 cents on the dollar. Get factory special pricing on Weber and Duquesne gas grills, too. Plus, get 6 months, no payment, no interest financing. This factory closeout sale will be held exclusively at all Poolorama stores.
You can't get through there.
No, I can do this.
Just chip out.
I can get through there.
Just chip it out.
No, I can get through there, watch.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I should have chipped out, huh?
Custom clubs for greater accuracy. Chipshot.com.
In Buffalo, Pepperdine and Oklahoma State are just moments away from their second-round matchup. Ian Eagle and Jim Spanarkel are set to call the action courtside. We'll join them when the road to the Final Four continues on CBS right after this.
Let's go West!
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Microsoft, American Express, NASDAQ, and by kforce.com.
Mom, Dad, remember how my rent was earning me airline miles?
Yeah, that rewards program?
Scrap it. I'm not going anywhere. Mark. What I want now is merchandise, preferably brand name, and I've been kicking some numbers around. I've already earned the television. That's going upstairs. Give me a hand with this, Dad, please. Dad.
You want brand name merchandise?
Yeah.
What does this look like, a Holiday Inn?
Points, miles, or merchandise. Holiday Inn gives you more, and more is better.
Hey, buddy, you looking for a job? Brother, you came to the right place. I got hot jobs, cool jobs, jobs that are absolute monsters. Just go and take your pick. You got me? Come on, right this way.
Tired of internet job sites that lead you nowhere? Log on to kforce.com with over 2,000 recruiting specialists whose only job is to get you the job. kforce.com. Opportunity has a new address.
Jerry, there's too much clutter. Let me know when you've changed.
Change. Everybody parks, everybody wins.
Dear Christy, I've changed.
One stamp, please.
One stamp.
You can do more with the American Express card.
Oh, a rainbow.
Confound it! It works! Ah, Christine!
More change, Jerry?
Yeah, pretty much.
A 260 horsepower CL Type S from Acura.
The NCAA basketball tournament on CBS. Today we come to you with second round action from Buffalo on the road to the Final Four. And the first matchup of the day, number 11 seed Pepperdine against third seeded Oklahoma State. Look at the brackets. Pepperdine with a victory over Indiana. Oklahoma State advanced with a win over Hofstra. Hi everybody, Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinard.